General Muti Ajimor Seberu. General is my title. Muti Ajimor Seberu is my name. This is the Jawn Life is Real series. Tell us your name, where we are physically, and why are you here?
My name is Larry Krasner. We're at the Marion Anderson Room at the Kimmel Center, which is one of the most amazing concert halls in the United States. And I'm here because we just completed swearing-in ceremony, the inauguration, for a bunch of people, including me.
Okay, yeah, it was. I didn't think all the judges would be here, but that's excellent. You used the Clarence Darrow in your remarks. You used the Clarence Darrow reference, a case in which I use all the time to make a point, and pretty much the same point that you just made. Do you think it's either ironic or tragic that that case was, oh my God, damn near the turn of the century, and we're in 2026, and his hammering closing argument was you remove the hate, you got nothing. Do you think that's ironic or even tragic that in 2026 that's still applicable?
I think it's ironic, I think it's tragic, and I think it connects to our times, because there are people who, make no mistake, want to advantage themselves every day off of hatred, division, off of breaking trust. And what we have to do is we have to build trust, we have to work together, we have to be open to each other, we got to turn to each other, not on each other.
Across the board, crime is down in the city of Philadelphia. Record numbers, especially and particularly in homicides. Homicides are at a rate since the lowest rate that's ever been since 1966. I think we had 280 homicides. All deaths are tragic, all deaths are violent, but 280 for this particular city is just unprecedented. Now that we have, in certain genres of crime, we have that under arrest, so to speak. Where do we pivot, and what genres do we go into that still need remedies, if you will?
Well, you know, for me, criminal justice is kind of like a garden. It's kind of like a farm. You have to maintain every day. You have to continue to focus on homicides, continue to focus on rapes, continue to focus on shootings, but then you also have to try to meet the moment. So we have a lot of scams of elderly people going on. We got to go there. We have a president in the White House who will not prosecute white-collar crime. He will not prosecute polluters. He will not prosecute pharma companies that have dumped so many people into a pit of addiction. We have to go after that. And we have to go after people who would take away our freedom to vote, who would break our Constitution. That may mean going after some people who are employees of the United States government. It may mean going after the president if he is so unwise as to do things on Philadelphia soil that are within our ability to prosecute. So we have to adjust constantly to the moment, see what we can do. We have new challenges with unhoused people. We need to work in collaboration with everybody else to try to address those issues. And we can get somewhere, but it's a constant process of trying to make sure we're pulling weeds, we're fertilizing the soil, we're putting down seed, because this is something that does not stop.
When you mentioned housing, there's another aspect of housing where many homeowners are losing their homes, they're being threatened, and things of that nature. What are you going to do to prosecute individuals who make it their livelihood to steal the properties of legitimate homeowners?
I mean, bottom line is, if you're a landlord or a property manager who thinks you can lie, cheat, and steal, you can break the law, look out, because if they don't get you in civil court, they're going to get you in criminal court. It doesn't work that if you got power and money, you can do what you want. The way it works is everybody gets even-handed justice.
Even-handed justice. Word association. The name, are you familiar with Letitia James?
I am.
What do you think about her as a prosecutor?
I think there are a ton of great things that can be said about Letitia James. I think she has had to deal so far with the consequences of being an honest, strong prosecutor, and the consequences are that the criminal in chief is going to come at you. So far, she's winning that battle, but I support Letitia James. I support her integrity. I support her decency. I support her efforts at reform, and I look forward in any way that I can be of help to standing in support of her and to backing her.
You heard that, sis. Give him a call. Also, what do you think about Fani Willis?
You know, Fani Willis is in a more complicated position. We all make mistakes, and she may have made a few, but you know, the bottom line is that we are in difficult times. Difficult decisions are made. Sometimes we don't move as quickly as we should, and bad things can come from that. We need to save this country, and the way we need to save it is by getting out the vote. Getting out the vote this very May, getting out the vote this very November. We have to take back the United States House, hopefully gain some ground as members of the Democratic Party in the Senate, because we need to tie the hands of this maniac in the White House so he can't just keep doing crazy.
You said something very interesting the last time we talked. You pointed out, you thank the voters of the Democratic Party because you said specifically they are the Democratic Party. That's an excellent choice of words. How do you feel now that we have this open road in front of us in terms of what can be done now, knowing that you have the party, not necessarily the party, but the voters, the electorate, because you gave the example of how folks is boxed out and who are outsiders. The majority is the outsiders. Mm-hmm. What do you think you can do now that you have this big open road in front of you and you have the people behind you blowing wind into your sail?
Well, first of all, the Democratic Party has always been the voters. It's just there are certain professionals who make their living on this game who want you to think it's them because they like to keep making their living on this game. It's always been the voters. They talk all this about money. Money why? So you can get votes. They talk all about media. Media why? I was outspent 100-1 at certain points on media by my opponent. Media why? So you can get votes. How about this? Just do the work and get the votes. Then you don't have to be sucking up to billionaires. You don't have to be raising all this money to give to TV stations, give political consultants so they can take their piece of the action. We don't need all that. We just need people who didn't get up in the morning and say, how can I look fancy? Who got up in the morning, left their ego at the door, and said, how can I make things better? There's some things I know, how can I use them? Those are the people we need running for office. Those are the people we need voting. We don't need this world where people shake their head because they feel like their electeds aren't working for them.
Well said. Last question. Knowing that we've a tremendous amount of time, creativity, and energy went into bringing us to this moment, how do you feel right now, personally, not professionally, but personally, Lawrence Krasner, how do you feel right now at this moment?
I feel good. I got a lot of good people around me. A lot of people were very kind to come and listen to whatever it was I had to say. I got my wife with me. I got one of my sons with me. I feel really great. I'm frankly delighted to be here, and I never thought I'd be enough of a star to be on this stage. Holy moly, do you see this place? 2,500 seats, this gorgeous hall, great acoustics. For 1 second, I just feel like a star.
Yes, sir. Well, since you brought it up, I gotta say it. You made a blinding contrast. You said, and for those who don't know, look how big this place is. It's humongous. You said that because of the reform that you've put forward, you and thousands and hundreds of thousands of organizations and people on the ground, boots on the ground, big up to my radio show. You said that you could fill this one up and empty it, and then they come in, fill it up again, empty it, fill it up again, empty it. That means folks are safer and freer, and they're literally physically freer because of the work that's been put in.
That's right. It's, we always had too many people in jail. We had a ton of people who didn't need to be there. Some do, but we had a ton who didn't. And, this hall holds 2,500 people. If you go back to when we first came into office, and no, it's not all me, but I'm part of it. When we first came into office in 2018, and you look at the number of Philadelphians who were locked up at that time, the reduction in that number going down, looks like filling this place 3 times with free people who would have been locked up if we were doing this another way.
And I call it the Krasner effect, because in state prisons they now have empty cells, and when the prisons they drop below certain levels, they're slated for shutter, and so they juggle the numbers and send other prisoners other places to falsify, to cook the books. So you're not very popular in the Pennsylvania Bureau of Corrections in terms of you're messing with their count and you're messing with their dollars.
See, but that's the problem. If they view their goal in life is to keep their prisons full, then they should quit. Their goal in life should be to make society safe by rehabilitating some people, and for those who cannot rehabilitate, by keeping them separate. Their goal was never, this ain't a hotel. We ain't making money. I mean, they are making money, but they shouldn't be thinking of it as making money off of how many cells they can fill. But that's exactly the problem. You have some Pennsylvania counties where they lost their coal and they lost their steel industry a long time ago, and their leadership is so weak. Did you hear me up there in those counties? Leadership is so weak. The only economy they can come up with is called lock up people from far away, especially from Philadelphia. That is a failure on the part of those elected officials. They could be bringing all kinds of industry, all kinds of tech, all kinds of other employment opportunities into these areas. But do they? No. They just want to make sure that they pass laws so they can put more Philadelphians, more people from Pittsburgh into their prisons. And that is immoral.
Indeed, indeed. Well, this is General Muti Ajimur Saberu. General is my title. Muti Ajimur Saberu is my name. This is the Jawn Life is Real series, and you've heard it here live from the man himself, Lawrence Krasner, the District Attorney of the City of Philadelphia, for the third time. 3-peat in the building.